Okay, so what's up guys, it's Matters. I want to take a look back at the Black Ops 4 trailer and really try to figure out some zombies information, talk about zombies, teasers, and specifically Mob of the Dead potentially being teased, some other maps being teased. I want to talk a bit about just remaster maps in general coming to Black Ops 4 and any zombies information that we're going to receive or that we can get as of now and that we should expect for the future. I want to go into more of the storyline aspect and different actual pieces of evidence, like some of the leaks that we've seen and some of the callbacks to Mob of the Dead and why we would go back to Mob of the Dead and who would play in Mob of the Dead in a different video, because that's more of the storyline type of thing. But I want to go here straight off of the teaser trailer and what they're actually going to give us and why it makes sense for them to actually do this in a certain way. I think at this point this is not a video saying if we're going to get Mob of the Dead remastered or remade, because at this point I think it's almost pretty certain that we're going to see that. So I'm not debating that simple issue. I'm really talking about how it's going to occur and what exactly they're doing and how they're teasing it and how we're going to see it revealed, and if we actually saw that in the trailer for a reason, just different stuff like that. So it's really, I think at this point we're moving on to the next level. And again, it's not confirmed. I'm not saying that it's confirmed that we're seeing Mob of the Dead, but really, you think we're not going to see Mob of the Dead in some way, shape, or form in this next game? You'd have to be a bit crazy. But let's just get started with the video here. If you can leave a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe for more Black Ops 4 Zombies videos. And let's get started. So before we look at the whole little Mob of the Dead thing here, Treyarch actually they have this new little article, not I guess article, but little page here today on their website, and it has a little recap here, and it's pretty interesting because it almost goes exactly to, I guess, what I said and what other people said too about the teasers leading up to May 17th. So I'm just gonna read this for you guys. I'll put up on screen. Yesterday, it became official. We are working on Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and it's set to hit streets on October 12th. The team here at the studio has been cranking on this game for the last 2 years, and to say that we're excited that it's officially public is an understatement. Admittedly, we're even more excited for what's in store. It's going to be an amazing year, and it really kicks off on May 17th with our world reveal event. Here's the interesting thing. Maybe we've got some stuff in store between now and then. Maybe we don't. Maybe we're just messing with you, or not. It's great to be back. Now, that is such a Treyarch statement. No company, no Call of Duty company, Sledgehammer, Infinity Ward, they would never put something like that. It's just a Treyarch thing. They have that sort of trolley mentality. They're really in tune with the community, and it's just the way it is. And that's just such a cool thing, because that right there confirming pretty much that we're going to be seeing different teasers up until May 17th. So it's not just going to be a whole dry period. We're going to see different stuff, and I think a bit of that, and this is the whole point, not the whole point of the video, but a bit of that probably going to be zombies. Now, this is interesting. Are they going to tease the base zombies storyline, whatever the new storyline is, whatever they're continuing from Revelations, whether it's with Dr. Monty or the Victus crew, the transit crew returning, or whatever their new storyline is for this game? I'm not so sure if they're going to tease that, but I do think they might tease some Mob of the Dead stuff, because there are a couple different routes you can take with Mob of the Dead and how that's going to be remade or remastered or reimagined in this game, because I feel like Mob of the Dead, I don't think it's going to be used in this game as sort of to, I guess it's as like to advance the storyline. It's not going to be Mob of the Dead after the fact, and it's not gonna be like Mob of the Dead 100 years later. We're going back to Alcatraz with the new crew. I'm not so sure if it's gonna be like that. I feel like if anything, Mob of the Dead, it's almost gonna act as like a prologue to the Black Ops 4 storyline, sort of just this prelude to what we're going to see. That being said, it would almost make sense for them to tease a bunch of the stuff occurring within Mob of the Dead, if you get what I'm saying. Mob of the Dead had a lot of stuff occurring, especially with Richtofen going back there to get the blood vials. I think it was like of Sal and Finn, I'm not so sure exactly. And then he went back to get the Victus crews and their blood samples as well. And what was it, the Primus crew went back to get it from Richtofen and this and that. And then there was a whole thing there, and there's just a bunch of stuff that occurred at Alcatraz. The end of Zetsubo stuff occurred there, so there's just a lot of stuff occurring And that would be pretty interesting to actually see what went down in that situation, or maybe shortly after, other than, you know, going back there just for the sake of going back to Mob of the Dead, because really there would be no reason to go back to Mob of the Dead in the future unless it was for something with the blood vials, which in that case they just do it before that case. It would almost be as a lead up to Black Ops 4. So this is the teasing part. If they wouldn't want to tease the actual main storyline, why not tease the prologue to it and, you know, tease a bit of sort of the Mob of the Dead lore? Now, I'm not saying that we're going to have teaser trailers of Mob of the Dead remastered or being remade and stuff like that. I don't think we're going to see that at all, but I do think we're going to see different quotes, possible little images, and just sort of, you know, storyline bits and pieces of just stuff that relate to this Mob of the Dead reimagined, remastered, remade map, whatever it's called, whatever it's going to be, and having, you know, stuff from that that's not necessarily new information, not necessarily Black Ops 4 storyline, but it's important to actually advance the storyline into Black Ops 4. So, just to look back at the trailer here, quick little thing, they throw in Mob of the Dead for a reason. Now, you can say, okay, they're just throwing it in just because they did a whole recap of their past 3 Black Ops series games or whatever, and they, you know, they showed different clips. I think they showed like Origins and, you know, maybe Verrückt or something and whatever. You know, and you can just say Mob of the Dead was a great point in the community, and they just want to throw it in to highlight, you know, the great times they've had in the Black Ops series, and that's a conservative approach, and, you know, makes sense, but it's boring. I mean, you know, Treyarch, they make calculated, specific decisions, and they know that if they throw and tease Mob of the Dead, they know people are gonna directly look at, well, you're teasing Mob of the Dead remastered. They know that. They 100% know that. Any other company, maybe not. I think, you know, some companies might just be oblivious, where they're just like, oh, we just threw it in there. Who knows? If it was Infinity Ward or Sledgehammer Games, they just wouldn't probably think anything of it, you know? Maybe they're a bit smarter than we think, but Treyarch, they make specific, calculated decisions. They're sort of in tune with the community. They know what's going on. They know what we think. And throwing Mob of the Dead in there is an obvious tease at some sort of Mob of the Dead, you know, element being, you know, a key part, or just at least some part of Black Ops 4, or maybe, you know, like I just talked about, the Black Ops 4 marketing, you know? So teasing Mob of the Dead as a part of the Black Ops 4 marketing isn't necessarily to tease the map itself. Like, the point of teasing Mob of the Dead remastered, or, you know, remake, whatever, it's not just like, oh, guys, we're getting Mob of the Dead remastered. Like, isn't that super crazy? Like, you know, you get to play Mob of the Dead again, or a new reimagined Mob of the Dead. You get to play on the whole Alcatraz Island. That's so sick. I mean, that's a cool part of getting Mob of the Dead back in Black Ops 4, but that's not the reason why they would tease it. Because it's an obvious hype map. Obviously, people are gonna buy it. People are gonna play it. However they give it to us. They don't need to tease the map itself. If anything, they want, and Treyarch probably wants to take more of a storyline approach and actually tease the elements of the map and the storyline implications of the map and why Mob of the Dead is actually being used. And if they're going with my approach, where it's more of a, you know, prologue to the events that are going to occur within Black Ops 4, then, or just more of just some backstory as to different things that we possibly don't know about that occurred on Mob of the Dead that, you know, are, you know, important parts to the Black Ops 4 storyline that we just don't know about yet. You know, using Mob of the Dead as that map to do that would be very cool, would make a lot of sense, and it would allow them to tease the map without exactly teasing the Black Ops 4 storyline itself. And it also would allow them to not even directly tease Mob of the Dead itself. It could just tease the elements of it and the storyline, and, you know, it'd be an interesting, different way for them to actually go about getting us hyped for zombies and getting us sort of ready for this new storyline, because I think no one really expected the Black Ops 3 storyline and what happened there, and it took a sort of a different turn with the Summoning Key and the Shadow Man, and then especially it took a huge turn with Dr. Monty and this new figure. I mean, he was only introduced at the, like, end of Garad Krovi, and, you know, it was just such a weird thing. So there's a lot that's going to happen. I'm thinking Black Ops 4 is going to be a lot different as well, in that, you know, the storyline approach that we're taking and our new goals and quests within this new game. There's so many different angles they can take. So I don't think they're going to just go out and say Black Ops 4, you know, this is what you're gonna be doing in the new game. Not that they did that with Black Ops 3, but you sort of caught on with Black Ops 3 that, oh, you know, we're getting all the souls of the 1.0 characters in the Summon Key. You know, at that point we pretty much knew, but I think this is gonna be pretty different, and it's a Mob of the Dead. I don't think it's just going to be as simple as it being remade, and then it's like the new crew in Black Ops 4, they return to Mob of the Dead for whatever reason. And I don't think Black Ops 4, it's going to use Mob of the Dead as a main part of the storyline. I think it's going to be either to the side, or, like I said, again, sort of a prologue, just, you know, getting us ready for the Black Ops 4 storyline, giving us some backstory, and having key elements that are necessary to understanding the goals of the Black Ops 4 Zombies storyline. So, them teasing that within the trailer, very interesting there. They could tease that stuff without teasing the actual Black Ops 4 storyline itself. So, I think I've hammered this point enough within this video. Hopefully, you guys are watching at this point, and let me know if you guys think it's a good idea and a good approach. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, if you're watching at the end of this video, leave a comment below MOTD so I can see the accounts that watched the whole video. It's greatly appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.